And also, every single firearm in Mexico is supposed to be registered. Mexico has 124 million people. What, ma'am?
Okay.
All right.
Officer, she goes. She goes. Go.
Please remove that woman, please.
Yes, officer, please.
You're removed. You're breaching protocol and disorder in the committee room.
He never took anyone away.
No. Officer, please remove her. And remove the gentleman, too. And I'm going to read a statement for the other folks in attendance. The committee welcomes the public to this meeting. We have people on both sides of the aisle. That not only up here, but in the audience, that have differing opinions. While you are welcome here, I want to point out to the members and to the audience in attendance today, House Rule 11 provides that the chairman of the committee may punish breaches of order and decorum by censure and exclusion from the hearing. All participants will be required to avoid unruly behavior and inappropriate language. Expressions of support or opposition are not in order. I expect all parties to these proceedings to conduct themselves at all times in a manner that reflects credibility on the House of Representatives. Okay. Now I'm going to reclaim my time. You know what? I'm pretty emotional as well. I think some people are, and we should be, because it's my firm belief that if you look at Mexico with 124 million people, the murder rate in this country is 5 per 100,000. Mexico, with very strong, strict gun laws, the murder rate is 29 per 100,000. That is remarkably higher. So how can that be? If laws can wash away, unfortunately, human nature. They can't. And evil is evil. Whether someone is murdered with a gun, with a knife, with a car, a bomb, or even with your bare hands, the fact of the matter is, what a firearm does is equalizing the playing field, particularly for elderly and for women, for folks that may not have the physical strength to defend themselves. So when we recall apologists for gun violence, we're using this for political tools, insurrectionists, and we're out of step. This is about the democratic process. We are supposed to pass laws. Congress, not unelected bureaucrats. If that's the case, we can all just go home. I'd rather spend more time with my family, quite frankly, my 13 and 16-year-old sons. I want to keep them safer. I want to keep everybody in this room safer. And I find it very hypocritical that some members of Congress hire armed security to protect themselves with firearms. So firearms are okay if they protect them, but not other people. The great masses. Alcohol-related deaths in 2020, 13.1 per 100,000. We talking about regulating any more alcohol? We talking about banning it? We're talking about making new rules to make it harder to get alcohol? No. Deaths by car, vehicles, 38,824, 11.2 per 100,000. Anybody want to ban cars? Any talk of that? No. Mass shootings. One is too many. In November 2021, in Wisconsin, a driver drove his SUV through a Christmas parade and he killed 6. Was there any talk of banning cars? No. We weren't going to ban the Ford Escape he used or any like them. The Ford Super Duty pickup truck in October of 2017 in Manhattan. Drove his truck along a bike path and crashed into a school bus, killing 8. There was no talk of that. It's not the gun that kills people, it's the person pulling the trigger. A gun is merely a tool. So you have a stabilizing brace, Mr. Moscow. See, this is exactly what we have to avoid, which is some minority of folks trying to silence dissent. Dissent shouldn't be kryptonite. We should have a civil conversation. We should have a spirited exchange of ideas. Mr. Raskin and I do, and I really respect it because he's good and he firmly believes what he believes. I believe a lot of the time differing, but there's a decorum that should be adhered to. So, Mr. Bosco, your brace is not a ghost gun, correct? Is this an insurrection? So will they be held to the same I don't want another January 6th, do we?
Yeah, if
Mr.
they're trying to
Bosco.
overthrow the government, they ought to be held to the same standard, but I think they're trying to express their views.
Oh,
on
whoa,
issues.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Members out of line.
Point of order, the gentleman's time has expired.
Yeah, and here's a point of order.
He wasn't here to begin with.
You weren't here to begin with. Ms. Jackson Lee went 4.5 minutes over. We said that I was going to take 1 additional minute, and Mr. Biggs was going to take 1 additional minute. She went over by 4.5 minutes. Mr. Bosco, you invented the pistol brace after witnessing a disabled combat veteran struggle to shoot while... Does the Capitol Police not do their jobs? What the hell's going on? All right. This hearing's recessed.